Hi everyone, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I really enjoyed sharing my knowledge and experiences in American culture with you all. And today I want to share something a little bit different. It's about my trip in Mexico City. 我和大家分享的英文口语场景日常对话，是我认为能够最快速、最有效提高英文的办法。所以我想把我自己在英文口语不同场景中学到的对话方式分享给大家。这支影片只是关于我的墨西哥之旅，我还有很多提高英文口语在不同场景非常有用的英文句式的视频要发布，所以请期待吧。Before I came to Mexico City, I didn't know anybody in person that's Mexican, nor do I know a lot of Mexican culture. I've had a lot of Mexican food in New York City, but that's it. Now that I've stayed in Mexico City for over 2 months, I want to share what I've experienced in Mexico City with you. I remember when I first told my parents that I was going to visit Mexico City, my parents didn't like the idea at all. Because in Chinese and in East Asian media in general, Mexico doesn't have a very good reputation. From the news and the American movies and etc., Chinese people learn that Mexico is full of violent gangs and crimes, and therefore is not a safe country to go visit. Even back in New York City, a lot of friends of mine would totally agree with my parents too. But what I've experienced here completely changed the original impression I had from Mexico City. I'm surprised by how modern the city is and how fun and friendly Latin culture is. And so today I want to share with you what I've seen and experienced in Mexico City and answer some questions that I think you might be interested to know about Mexico City. If you have different opinions or have any questions for me, please leave a comment below and I'll respond to you as soon as I see it. Is Mexico City dangerous for tourists? Is Mexico City safe to live? I think Mexico City is friendly for tourists to visit and can be safe to live, but I always try to do my best to be cautious going around, especially as a girl. First of all, I avoid risky neighborhoods such as these. I don't know how to pronounce them properly. In general, I try to stay only in my neighborhoods, which are Roma and La Condesa. During the day, sometimes I explore other neighborhoods such as Polanco, historic center of Mexico City, Coyoacan, and many others. And before I go visit, I also always make sure that I do my research to double check if it's a safe area. I also avoid going out late at night. There are 3 areas I think are very safe, and they're Roma, Condesa, and Polanco. These places have a lot of foreigners, surveillance cameras, and even police officers. Roma is a place with a lot of cute cafes and trendy restaurants. It's like Brooklyn in New York City. And Condesa is also beautiful with parks and a lot of greenery. Also many cafes and restaurants, but more like West Village in New York City. Polanco completely blew my mind. It's so fancy. It's like Beverly Hills in Los Angeles. A lot of high-end restaurants and very good-looking and well-dressed people. It's said that Polanco has some of the most expensive real estates in Latin America. There are a lot of nice hotels and Airbnbs available in Mexico City for your visit. If you need a place longer than a year, you can consider checking them out on Facebook Markets. What is Mexico City known for? I heard that Mexico City is the largest city in North America in terms of population, followed by New York City and Los Angeles. Tequila is originally produced in Mexico. If you're visiting Mexico City, you might want to try some tequila. And of course, a lot of people love Mexican cuisine, such as tacos, quesadillas, tacos al pastor, nachos, guacamole, pozole, enchiladas, you name it. I'm not sure if I pronounced them right. Do they speak English in Mexico City? The answer is no. It's not very common. I thought it would be common for people to speak English here since Mexico is close to the United States and really here are a lot of foreigners. But no, people here speak Spanish. Only in higher-end restaurants, cafes, stores, or other places you can expect English-speaking staff. I don't speak Spanish, and of course, they don't speak Chinese, so I use Google Translate for help unless I go out with my friends who know how to speak Spanish. The app is slow, but it works. Do you tip in Mexico? Yes, you do. Whether it's taxi, restaurants, delivery, and etc., you're expected to do so. I usually tip 10 to 20%. If you are dining in restaurants outdoors, it's good to have some coins with you because there are many street performers and musicians that will ask you for money after their performance. Does Mexico City get snow? No. I heard that Mexico City has not snowed for over 50 years now. From my experience in February, March, and April is between 24 to 28 Celsius degrees during the day. It's super warm and I feel fine wearing a dress or short sleeves outside. However, it's quite chilly in the morning and at night, and the temperature falls between 10 to 18 Celsius degrees. When I go out during these times, I always make sure that I have a jacket on. Another point you might be interested to know is that Mexico City is at high elevation with thinner air, but I didn't feel anything odd when I arrived or had any altitude sickness. When are the best months to visit Mexico City? I heard that March to May has the best weather during a year. It's always warm and sunny and it rarely rains. It lasts for only a couple of hours at a time. I definitely found it rain more often in May than in February, March, and April. The air quality in Mexico City is not very good based on iPhone weather reports. I can't really tell if the air quality is good or bad with my eyes, but I definitely feel dusty in Mexico City. Sometimes the rainstorms definitely help to clear out the air. Is Mexico City humid or dry? One thing I do notice is how dry it is in Mexico City. New York is already very dry compared to Shenzhen, Hong Kong, or other coastal cities in China. But Mexico City is dry to another level. It's not uncommon for some people who are new to visit to have nose bleeding here because of the dryness, but it doesn't really bother me that much. I always make sure to apply a lot of face lotion and sunscreen to protect my skin. Can you drink tap water in Mexico City? Nope, you shouldn't. Just like in China, people don't drink tap water. In Mexico City, they usually have a water filter or you buy bottles of water. Is Mexico City cheap? Mexico City is a huge city, so it really depends on where you are. I don't find the neighborhoods I'm staying in cheap. For example, compared to Thailand is very expensive, but compared to Manhattan, the rent is cheaper. Grocery and other stuff in general are cheaper, but the restaurants are only a tiny little bit cheaper than in Manhattan. If I can give out some arbitrary estimates, I'd say the restaurants and coffee shops in these neighborhoods are 30% cheaper than in Manhattan and pretty close to Brooklyn price.